Before the censors took control, Hollywood's boldest films let women seize the spotlight and the power. In these wild pre-code years, actresses played characters who called the shots, broke the rules, and rewrote what it meant to be a woman on screen. These weren't just supporting roles, they were commanding performances that left men and audiences scrambling to keep up. Here are 15 unforgettable pre-code films where women had the upper hand, changing not just the stories, but Hollywood history itself. Babyface, 1933. Few films embody female empowerment quite like Babyface, starring Barbara Stanwyck in one of her most famous roles. Stanwyck's Lily Powers starts out in a small-town speakeasy, forced to fend for herself after years of hardship. But when she heads to New York City, Lily uses her wits, confidence, and determination to climb the ranks of a major bank, making her way from the basement to the executive suite, always on her terms. What set Babyface apart was not just the character's ambition, but her intelligence and refusal to be shamed. Lily sees the world for what it is and takes every opportunity to advance, often outsmarting her male counterparts at every turn. Her rise isn't depicted as villainous, but as a smart response to a rigged system, a message that resonated with Depression-era audiences, especially women who recognized the daily struggle for respect. Controversial in its time, Babyface was edited and re-edited to appease censors and critics, but the core of Lily's power remains untouched. The film's impact is lasting. It stands as one of the earliest and most iconic examples of a woman using her agency to shape her own destiny, and it continues to inspire generations of viewers and filmmakers alike. Redheaded Woman, 1932. Jean Harlow's Lil Andrews in Redheaded Woman was the ultimate rule breaker, a secretary with a plan to climb the social ladder, and nobody was going to stop her. From the film's first scene, Lil is on the offensive, targeting her wealthy married boss and maneuvering her way into high society with a mix of charm, humor, and fearless ambition. What made the film so unforgettable was its unapologetic portrayal of female cunning. Lil doesn't beg for forgiveness or try to hide her motives. Instead, she manipulates situations to her advantage, often leaving a trail of astonished men in her wake. Harlow plays her as witty and magnetic, making the audience root for her even as she bends every social rule. Redheaded Woman was controversial for showing a woman in complete control, and not suffering for it in the end. Critics and censors were scandalized, but the film became a box office sensation. Its legacy is clear. It shattered the stereotype of women as passive or naive, proving they could be as ambitious, daring, and successful as any man on the screen. Female, 1933. Female gave Hollywood one of its first business mogul heroines in Allison Drake, played by Ruth Chatterton. Allison is the no-nonsense, sharp-witted president of an automobile company, a woman surrounded by men who underestimate her, until she proves herself a leader, strategist, and innovator. From managing her boardroom to running circles around would-be suitors, Allison always has the upper hand. The film's groundbreaking approach is in showing a woman who enjoys power and makes no apologies for it. Allison's relationships are on her terms, and her authority is never undermined by the men around her. The story even features her clever tactics to outsmart rivals and maintain control over her personal and professional life. Female was both praised and criticized for its portrayal of a woman in command, but it resonated strongly with audiences, especially working women navigating the Great Depression. The movie's witty dialogue, modern sensibility, and Chatterton's performance make it a landmark in feminist film history, showing that a woman could be both the boss and the hero. She Done Him Wrong, 1933. Mae West's Lady Lou is an icon for good reason. In She Done Him Wrong, West's saloon singer navigates a dangerous male-dominated world using her wit, confidence, and ability to read any room. No matter how many crooks, cops, or suitors come her way, Lady Lou always seems to be 2 steps ahead. West's script, much of which she wrote herself, is filled with double meanings and sly humor, allowing her character to hold all the cards while the men scramble to keep up. Whether she's diffusing threats or charming her way out of trouble, Lady Lou is always in control, never a victim. She delivers legendary one-liners that show her power isn't just physical, it's mental. The movie's runaway success saved Paramount from bankruptcy and turned Mae West into a superstar. Lady Lou's self-assurance, humor, and unapologetic independence set the standard for powerful women in film, influencing generations of characters who refused to be sidelined or silenced. Midnight Mary, 1933. Midnight Mary is a drama with grit and a lead who refuses to back down. Loretta Young stars as Mary Martin, a young woman swept into a world of crime, but who never lets her circumstances define her. Facing injustice after injustice, Mary makes tough choices to survive, always finding a way to regain control even when the odds are stacked against her. What's remarkable about Mary is her resourcefulness. Instead of being rescued, she often rescues herself and others, navigating gangsters, legal troubles, and heartbreak with a sharp mind and steady resolve. The film paints her not as a victim, but as a survivor and a strategist, using her intelligence to turn setbacks into opportunities. Midnight Mary was praised for its realism and for giving a complex, three-dimensional role to a female lead. It's a story about fighting back and refusing to let anyone else write your ending, making it one of the era's best showcases for women who hold their own no matter what. Torch Singer, 1933. Claudette Colbert's Sally Trent in Torch Singer is a portrait of reinvention and resilience. After being abandoned and forced to give up her child, Sally transforms herself into the glamorous torch singer Mimi Benton. On stage, she captivates audiences. Off stage, she's fiercely determined to reclaim her life and find the daughter she lost. What gives Sally the upper hand isn't just her talent, but her ability to adapt and survive in a world that's often hostile to women. She navigates the nightclubs and radio studios of New York with courage, using her voice, literally and figuratively, to find her child and confront the people who wronged her. Torch Singer is unique for showing a woman who takes control of her narrative, even after tragedy. Colbert's performance brings depth and nuance to a character who's not defined by her struggles, but by her refusal to give up. The film stands as a testament to the strength and tenacity of women on and off the screen. The Divorcee, 1930. Norma Shearer's Jerry Martin in The Divorcee is one of early Hollywood's most groundbreaking characters. After discovering her husband's infidelity, Jerry refuses to accept the double standard that allows men to stray while women are condemned. Instead, she chooses her own path, refusing to be shamed for seeking happiness on her own terms. Jerry's journey is one of growth and self-respect. She breaks away from societal expectations, finds new love, and ultimately takes control of her life. The film never punishes her for her decisions. Instead, it celebrates her courage and independence. The Divorcee was both scandalous and empowering in its time, sparking debates and earning Shearer an Academy Award. Its impact can still be felt today, as it helped pave the way for stories of women standing up for themselves and rewriting the rules about love, marriage, and freedom. Downstairs, 1932. In Downstairs, Helen, played by Virginia Bruce, stands out as a housemaid who faces manipulation from the scheming new chauffeur, but soon flips the power dynamic. Rather than falling victim, Helen asserts her own intelligence and integrity, taking charge of her circumstances even as the male lead tries to exploit everyone in the household. Helen's cleverness and emotional strength allow her to survive a web of lies and deceit. Instead of being outwitted, she becomes a quiet force for justice within the house, protecting not only herself, but the people who trust her. The film is a rare pre-code exploration of class and gender, with a woman ultimately holding the upper hand. Downstairs is a hidden gem, showing that courage and shrewdness aren't limited by status or gender. Helen's ability to navigate adversity makes her a quietly powerful presence, and her story is a testament to resilience in a world stacked against women. The Strange Love of Molly Louvain, 1932. Anne Dvorak's Molly Louvain is another pre-code heroine who won't be cornered. The film follows Molly as she moves from small-town scandal to big-city trouble, navigating a string of setbacks and betrayals. But Molly is never just a bystander. She makes choices for herself, taking control of her destiny even when it means going against the grain. Dvorak's performance is full of fire and wit, capturing Molly's evolution from naive romantic to savvy survivor. The character's resourcefulness and refusal to conform mark her as a woman ahead of her time. Rather than suffering for her independence, Molly ultimately finds strength and peace on her own terms. The Strange Love of Molly Louvain was praised for its nuanced portrayal of a woman who makes mistakes but never loses her agency. It's a film that recognizes complexity and rewards a lead character who refuses to settle for anything less than self-determination. Safe in Hell, 1931. Dorothy McHale's Gilda in Safe in Hell is a masterclass in survival and grit. Falsely accused of a crime, she escapes to a Caribbean island where she's surrounded by danger and deception. Yet instead of succumbing to fear, Gilda takes charge of her fate, refusing to let the predatory men around her dictate her choices. Gilda's boldness and ability to read people allow her to stay one step ahead of the threats she faces. She confronts her adversaries with unwavering resolve and never loses her sense of self, even when the stakes are life and death. The film's setting amplifies her isolation, making her triumphs all the more impressive. Safe in Hell was considered scandalous for its time, but stands out today as a powerful portrait of a woman who refuses to be broken. McHale's performance is riveting, showing strength not through aggression, but through tenacity and unwavering self-respect. Virtue, 1932. Carole Lombard's May in Virtue is a classic pre-code example of a woman who reinvents herself and takes control of her future. After leaving behind a troubled past, May tries to start over as a waitress in New York. When she falls for a cab driver, she navigates the ups and downs of love and trust, but never lets her history define her worth. May's candor, humor, and resilience allow her to overcome prejudice and setbacks. She refuses to be a victim, even when circumstances conspire against her. Instead, May turns challenges into opportunities, proving she's the true architect of her destiny. Virtue was celebrated for its realistic portrayal of a woman striving for a better life and refusing to let anyone else's opinion keep her down. Lombard's performance gives May dignity and grit, marking her as one of pre-code cinema's unsung heroines. Gold Diggers of 1933. 1933. This iconic musical may be remembered for its spectacle, but at its core, Gold Diggers of 1933 is about women taking charge of their destinies. The ensemble cast, Joan Blondell, Ruby Keeler, and Aline McMahon, play chorus girls navigating the Great Depression, using wit and teamwork to survive in a cutthroat industry. The film's most memorable numbers, like We're in the Money, showcase the women's resilience and resourcefulness. They outsmart creditors, producers, and would-be suitors, turning adversity into triumph with creativity and charm. The camaraderie among the women is a powerful antidote to the era's hardships, showing strength in unity. Gold Diggers of 1933 became a Depression-era rallying cry, proving that women could be smart, savvy, and unstoppable, on stage and off. The film's message of female empowerment remains timeless, and its blend of humor, heart, and ambition still inspires. Employee's Entrance, 1933. Loretta Young's character, Madeline, in Employee's Entrance must survive a ruthless business world dominated by the unscrupulous Kurt Anderson, Warren William. While Anderson manipulates everyone, it's Madeline's intelligence, integrity, and resilience that ultimately save her. She stands up for herself, makes difficult choices, and manages to carve out a space for her own happiness despite relentless pressure. What makes Madeline's story so powerful is her refusal to be cowed. She relies on her own resourcefulness, forging alliances and staying true to herself even in the face of workplace exploitation. Young's nuanced performance brings depth to a character who never stops fighting for her own future. Employee's Entrance exposes the challenges women faced in the business world, but also shows that courage and self-respect can tilt the balance of power. Madeline's journey is a testament to quiet strength and the ability to persevere, even when the odds seem insurmountable. The Sin of Nora Moran, 1933. Zita Johann's Nora Moran is one of pre-code Hollywood's most complex female leads. Wrongly convicted and facing the ultimate punishment, Nora tells her own story through a series of flashbacks. Throughout, she displays extraordinary agency, accepting responsibility for her choices, protecting those she loves, and making sacrifices out of selfless love. Unlike many melodramas of the era, Nora's strength comes not from defiance, but from her moral conviction and ability to endure. The film asks audiences to empathize with her, framing her as a survivor rather than a victim. Her calm resolve and integrity become acts of resistance against a world determined to judge her harshly. The Sin of Nora Moran is now considered an early feminist classic, a reminder that real power can sometimes be found in endurance, forgiveness, and self-sacrifice as much as in open rebellion. Night Nurse, 1931. Barbara Stanwyck's Laura Hart in Night Nurse is as fearless as they come. Assigned to care for two sick children, Laura uncovers a plot to harm her patients for financial gain. With only her courage and quick thinking, she faces down the villains, including a menacing chauffeur played by Clark Gable, and outsmarts everyone standing in her way. Laura's ability to stay calm under pressure, her refusal to back down, and her drive to protect the innocent put her in control of the story from beginning to end. Stanwyck's performance brims with intelligence and resolve, making Laura one of pre-code cinema's great heroines. Night Nurse was shocking for its time, both for its adult themes and for showing a woman saving the day through bravery and brains. It remains a gripping thriller and a testament to the power of women who refuse to be sidelined, no matter how dark the odds. There you have it. 15 unforgettable pre-code films where women called the shots, rewrote the rules, and left a mark that still inspires today. These stories prove that even in Hollywood's wildest years, it was often the women who had the last word. Which powerhouse heroine impressed you most? Let us know in the comments, and if you crave more stories of classic movie rebellion, hit like, share, and subscribe. Because the real legends of cinema are the ones who broke the mold and took control.